Alhaji Chief Hassan Momodu was born on Wednesday, 22nd March 1946 in Alhaji, Edo State.
Etsako. Actually, if you want to call it Ifo, Enisanako. Okay, Enisanako. Those who file their teeth. That's just the meaning. Alhaji people migrated from Udo, for example. We have a common ancestral base from Benin. As they were migrating and they were now forming groups, they needed an identity because don't forget these were a period of wars, and then period of wars and conquest. So if you meet anybody on the way, any village or the way, any group of people, you can decide to enslave them, fight them, and take over control. Basically, they decided to, instead of every time asking yourself, who are you? Or who is your parent? Where are you coming from? Say, you just say, open your mouth, smile for us, or open your mouth, let's see. Once they find that filing at the window, they know you are one of them. So it became an identification mark. A name is exactly what you attach to it anyway. But what has happened is that it has given our people an identity. And that has helped us to know ourselves. And that is why you find that when you still talk of Onwa today, that is Sabongida, Ora, Afuzi, and all that one. What was the original name? Etsako, children of Etsako. But you know, with modern times, the enough is derogatory, that they cannot be treated as just children when they are supposed to be part and parcel. So they took the name Onwa, okay, which sounds like our own, okay, something like that, okay. I think that is just it. If not, even apart from part of Igara, that Etuno, they are Igbira people, okay. Igara people are Igbira people. But they tell that they are superior to the ones in Okene. So that's why they call themselves Etuno. But they also find Yoruba speaking in their midst. When you now go to Ayegunle, Imeri, Bilo, and all that, they speak Yoruba. Okay, but generally we are the same stock.
He is the second from the family of 19 children. In 1955, he went on his own to start school at the Christian Missionary Society, CMS, Alhaji. While in 1956, he changed school to the government school, Alhaji, where he completed his primary education in 1961 as the best pupil. He then proceeded for his secondary school education at Our Lady of Fatima Grammar School, now Our Lady of Fatima College in Alhaji, in 1962, and finished in 1966 with a Division 1 pass.
But then you need some intelligence, you need a certain level of development. And that's why my view has always been there that we do not necessarily need to have businessmen ruling over the place. All you need is have people that can contribute ideas, because ideas too can bring money. Okay, we know you have money, but we know probably you are not very rich. But you have a lot of ideas, and the value you have added to that club since you came in is immeasurable, for example. And that's basically what it is. So when you want to grow an institution, you begin to look for materials that are going to add value. Okay, that is just leadership. What I've always done, in anybody I belong to, I've always tried to influence the growth and progress and leadership. Why? Because I believe once you have a good leader, then you have an institution that will thrive. Even Our Lady of Fatima, nobody, because president, I have not had an input on. Because I must be there on the day of election. And I will stand there as a senior. And if I have my classmates or anybody that's senior to me, I would call the person, this is what I want done, this is the reason why I want it done that way, and all that and that. So Pascal Gbema, that is today president, again, was my own making. And I made sure that nobody, when Dako was president, it was the same thing I did. Most of the decisions I've taken over time, they found them to be very, very right. So they listen to me. Okay, they listen to me. It's the same thing with Etsako Club 81. I've always tried to influence, add value to whoever becomes president.
He proceeded to Loyola College, Ibadan for his higher school, studying English literature, history, and economics. He then proceeded to Ahmadu Bello University to study accountancy with a federal government scholarship. He started his working career in 1969 as a teacher in St. Angela Girls Grammar School, Uzare, near Alhaji. While in 1972, after graduating from Momodu University, Zaria, he took up a job as an accountant with the Federal Ministry of Finance, where he worked as a federal civil servant for 8.5 years. By 1981, when he left the federal service, he had risen to the position of substantive chief accountant, and in the course of these 8 years, he was a signatory to the federal bank account with the Central Bank of Nigeria for 7.5 years.
Alhaji is a professional. He's a reliable friend. You cannot fault him. He tells you how he feels, and at the end of the day, you find out that what he says is what he means. Alhaji has been a trailblazer, actually. You know, when we were in Citibank, he was the only person that was left to incorporate that what you call Citibank today. He incorporated it. So I thank God for having him, and I have to thank our chief people for giving Nigeria and the world a very nice and memorable person like Alhaji Momodu.
After working at the Federal Ministry of Finance, he proceeded to the University of Exeter in the United Kingdom, where he had a master's degree in portfolio management and investment analysis at the Federal Scholar. He later undertook a diploma in banking operations at the prestigious Citibank NA Training School in Glyfada, Athens, Greece, in 1981 to 1982 as an employee to Citibank NA of America. In 1981, he was employed by the Citibank and succeeded in procuring a bike license for the bank.
I know that I speak on behalf of everybody when I say a very, very dear friend. Why? Because Alhaji Momodu is somebody that is very good at keeping relationships. How many people can boast of a primary one classmate in the same hall? Oh, even those of us who have known Alhaji for over 30 years are still small boys in comparison to those relationships that he has kept. Alhaji Momodu, throughout the period I knew him professionally, he has integrity, he's kind, he's balanced. And when we say kind, balanced, don't take him to be a fool. If you cross him in the wrong path, you'll see his Valhalla. He says it exactly the way it is, and is a true professional.
He was part of the team that set up Citizens International Bank in 1990 and worked in various management positions till he left in 1999.
1993, I didn't know him, I just took his name. He was in Citizens Bank. I had written a test in Zenith Bank. I went to him, I sent a note in, because I'm from Etsako. He didn't waste time, he told me to come in. Said he's very busy. What do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me. I said, I've written a test. I don't know how you can put in a word. I know I did very well. He said, no problem, no problem. He gave me a note. And that was it. That was how I started my banking career. So if you are talking about professional children, I should be the #1 professional son.
My potentials wouldn't have been known to the world, or glory wouldn't have been brought to Lagos State and Nigeria with the so many laurels and awards I've won, courtesy Alhaji Momodu, because he got me a teaching job in Lagos State. Business clap for him. Courtesy of Mr. Cardoso, together with them they got me a teaching job, and currently I'm the National Inspirational Teacher of the Year all over Nigeria. Most innovative teacher, Nigeria, best teacher, Lagos State. So many laurels and awards, even I've won as a physics teacher. If he hasn't gotten me the job, my potentials would just have been there and nobody would know about it. He believed in me, and anytime I get any award, I give glory to God, and I also mention him, because if not for him, I will not be here.
I went to Nsukka on federal scholarship. I am supposed to come out to teach, but I think I can work in the bank. And he looked at me and said, if you are a good teacher, I think you should remain in that field. He said, okay, since you want to be in the banking sector, go through the procedures. I went through, and I was successful. but you won't know. Anytime they told me to come and start work, either my stomach was painful or another part of my body was painful. Until UDILAC sent for me as the best variety student, and they said, come and start. Then I knew that he was always right from the beginning, that I am a teacher. I think I have done well in teaching. Apart from teaching at UDILAC, I told him, I said, I'd love to handle children at the lower level. And he said, why don't we give it a shot? Why don't you start a school? I said, it entails a lot of money. He said, just one drop of water. Someday it will become a mighty ocean. And I tell you, he became part of that business, and we are doing extremely well to the glory of God.
The woman that said she didn't want me, Mrs. Williams, in a month, she changed my salary to 15,000. In 3 months, she changed it to 35. In 6 months, she made me a permanent staff. I was buying bole and maize, okra, for all the top management in Citizens Bank then. If you don't know, Corporate Citizen was a subsidiary to Citizens Bank. As I speak today, I'm the Chief Operating Officer, First Spring Insurance Broker. That same company, I started as nobody. Heritage took over and they said I should go because they want to put their boys on ground. I just said from nowhere, she's going nowhere. I didn't know where the trouble was coming from. I didn't call Daddy. He got to here and he called Chris. You are part of them. That girl is going nowhere. And I remained there. Later, the man they now brought again, that brought us over. No, they have been buying also. Citizens, Spring Enterprise. I don't care. And I've been standing. Tell me, do any of you have such story here? And somebody is saying that, why are you calling in your father? I don't know, maybe somebody should give me another father.
He went into private practice as a financial investment consultant. By 2003, he joined Alhaji Community Bank, which later metamorphosed into Alhaji Microfinance Bank. He became the chairman of the bank in October 2010 and still holds that position till date. He held several leadership positions, some of which includes Member Advisory Council, Lagos Business School, Member United Nations Institute for Training and Research, Edo State, President, Nigeria-Russia Chambers of Commerce between 1996 to 2015. He served as Assistant Secretary, Vice President and President of the Etsako Club 81.
I think I joined Etsako Club in 1983. I still think my friend, classmate from secondary school, Mr. Femike, invited me and told me there was a Etsako Club leader should come and join. You know, I had just come back from the UK and I was just a young banker, old young banker. So when he invited me, so I got in there, I found that it made a lot of sense to me. So I joined, and I think within a year I became the Assistant Secretary of the club. Well, I put to be the, I think, 12th president of the club. Okay, I spent about 35, go to 36 years as a member of that club. So I can safely say I'm one of the oldest members of the club, and also the past president. Was also had the opportunity of holding key positions, being Secretary General and being Treasurer and all that and that. So. At one point, I was also the auditor, so I've actually held most of the critical positions in the club. I think the concept of the club was very, very good. We was to see how we could bring ourselves together and see how we can get our area developed. And they also have to solve problems that are usually very, very common to societies.
I have the privilege of being honorable secretary when Alhaji Hassan Momodu was the president of Etsako Club 81. You know, I work very closely with him. He's a man that has focus, you know, and is quite cerebral. So on this milestone occasion, I wish him happy birthday and long life.
Alhaji Hassan Momodu is a man of impeccable character, a man of impeccable qualities. I have known him from when I was a child, and I studied him. And he's somebody I've found to be very selfless, and passionate in what he believes in. And he puts in his best. And if he picks interest in somebody, he will go out of his way to ensure he does anything for you to get what you want done.
Been very, very good. Even the land that I have in my hometown in Alhaji, he sold it to me at a very giveaway price because he said, come, you don't have a land at home. Why would I? I have one at home. Come and take it. How much you want to pay? And I told him, so that take the land, and that just was it. So just like people have said about him, he's been a great man, and he's still one, and I know God will continue to bless him for the good deeds that he has been doing.
Executive Director, Citizen Bank between 1990 to 1999. Chairman and CEO of Citizen Security and Investment Brokers between 1991 to 2006. Founding Director and Treasurer, Bank Directors Association of Nigeria, DGAN, between 2001 to 2004, and was the Vice President of the association between 2004 to 2006. Director and later Chairman of Alhaji Microfinance Bank Limited, 2003 to date, and member of the Alhaji Advisory Council.
It's been a very, very nice event. Very, very, very nice indeed. A lot of old friends, a lot of people who love Alhaji. And it has shown him as someone who reaches out, who makes friendships, who helps people. We've heard all the testimonies today. Very, very impressive testimonies. Very touching testimonies. Testimonies that showed him to be a great man.
Whatever Alhaji says, he stands by it. He's not the type of person you will go back and tomorrow they ask you out and said, oh, I didn't say that. Alhaji is very honest. He's dependable. That's the first time. He's honest, dependable, and he's true to his words.
Alhaji Hassan Momodu is not only a past president of Etsako Club 81, he is the chairman of the Elders Council, comprised of the past president and elders of the 40-year-old club.
I think I've tried as much as possible to add value, because when you belong to a house, always ensure there's peace in the house. Without trying to honestly praise myself like the Agama lizard, I think I've tried to add value. If you look at in terms of development for the youths, development for our society generally, conflict resolutions and all that, I think the club has done very, very well. And don't forget that even in the state, where we talk, the state government has to listen to, because we're forced to be reckoned with.
He is blessed with 6 children who are today in various fields of endeavors.
Talking about my father, you will say my father in a way is a hard man, but he's a loving father. He taught us one thing. He always tell us, don't depend on my money because my money belongs to me. You have to work hard for yours. And I remember one particular incident. I came home and I asked my father for a camera. He told me, everybody in your school, do they have a camera? I said, no. How many have a camera? I said, I don't know. He said, okay, go and join those that don't have a camera and take picture in your school. And that was my father's way of teaching us to, value life and, also value people that don't have much. We were privileged to always have someone take us to school, bring us back. But my daddy always made it a policy that if you are going with the driver, you will sit in front with the driver and you call the driver, or you can never call him a driver. And these are the things that after I grew up, I began to understand and appreciate what he was trying to teach us. That we should learn to respect even those that are below us, and we should also give a helping hand to others. Our father does not mind. When the bank pays him money for holidays, he will tell us, you will not go for this holiday. I have people in the village that need money. I think I will pay school fees for some people without money. And then we will be very angry. But as I became older, I now understood what he was trying to do. Thank you.
He's a wonderful man. He's a great dad. I'm very happy that he's my dad. I wouldn't have chosen any other person to be my dad than him. He's strong. He's somebody that you can rely on. He has a very good, very kind heart. And I love him. He's an awesome father. He has been a great man. He has been a supporter. He has supported me through all my decisions, and he has always been there for me.
He lost his loving and caring and highly devoted wife to lay court patient on December 10, 2014. He is a devoted Muslim.
It just tells me that all my character has not been bad. People appreciate whatever you do for them, because I can tell you that I limited the people invited here.
He was recently conferred with Fellowship Award by Chartered Institute of Bankers. Thank you very much, everyone. I pray that God be with you all and guide each and every one of you back home safely. May the love of God be with each and every one of us. And we will see the end of this year simply and peacefully. None of us will go with the turbulence of